Come sit in my office for about 2 hours. Run up out of there.
I don't want that job.
And I got a motion to come back into regular session for
Second.
It was motion by Selectman Cameron, second by Selectman Hill, that we come back into regular meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Ask that we get a motion to skip item number 4.
Second.
It was motioned by Selectman Johnson, second by Selectman Brock, that we skip item number 4. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay.
Nay.
500. Okay. Number 5, consider approving resolution adopted and proposed. Yeah.
Continue on application, and that's correct.
Okay. Consider approving resolution adopting the proposed 2018-2019 budget of the estimated revenues and expenditures for the city of McComb, City, Mississippi for FY19, beginning October 1, 2018, and ending September the 30th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
John. It was motion by Selectman Brock, second by Selectman Johnson. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay.
Mayor,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to add one item.
Mr. Brock would like to make a motion. Go ahead and make your motion.
Motion to end MLK lease effective September 6, 2018.
Second.
What was that date again?
Effective September 6.
Okay. There was a motion to amend the agenda by Selectman Brock, second by Selectman Hill, to end the MLK lease effective September the 6th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay.
Who seconded?
Did we just add it to the agenda? We just added it to the agenda. And in order that I won't forget, let us go ahead and deal with that. Okay? We have here to consider ending the MLK lease effective September the 6th, 2018. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
It was motion by Selectman Hill, second by Selectman Brock. Any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to make sure that we spread this across our minutes to end the lease. Seems like the school district has agreed with this body that we end the lease, and based on the information that the school district, based on the information that Dr. Ellis presented to his school board, concurs what I said about the inactivity at MLK. Dr. Ellis gave a list of events to the school board. That list of events went by year: 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and it lists a total of 155 events that the school district had in MLK. However, out of those 155 events, approximately 4 only pertain to the students, the educational process of the students. That's the best way to word that. But student
Involvement.
involvement of student learning directly. The rest of these events included staff meetings, 2014, 2015, National Student Teaching Learning Center, one-stop registration, National Student Center training, Freedom School. None of these involve the instructional services to the school or after-school program in 2014. 2015, 2016, pretty much the same. 33 events only pertain to staff, except for 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking at one was McComb High School Boys District Dinner. We're giving that one. Football Leadership Retreat. Superintendent Student Advisory Board. The rest of these events was related to the staff. 2016, 2017, there was a total of 35 events. One related directly to the students, track and field ring ceremony. The other 34 student-centered learning training. It was all staff associated, none directly associated with the students. He also gave 2017, 2018, pretty much the same. There were 31 events. None of them had anything to do with after-school program, tutorial programs, any of that. It was not in the lease that we did with the school district. It was not in the lease about after-school programs, but this is our school district. And in this lease, it did not include our conversation or the conversation that took place with the school district in regard to what they were going to do in the center. But as Dr. Ellis said in the paper, they quoted him that they did do everything that they said in the lease. However, the lease didn't include anything in regard to instructional time for these students. He also gave a total of rental dates that he gave, a total of 17, 15, 2014, 2015, there were a total of 17, such as voting in MLK, birthday parties, baby shower. We can do that ourselves. 2015, 2016, pretty much the same, 15 events, City McComb meeting that I held. We Care Academy, banquet, that type of stuff. Nothing instructional in regard to the school students in the immediate area or any student from any part of the city. So, that being said, Dr. Ellis also says that the decision for this body to end the lease and taking back what belongs to us, MLK Center, and I quote, "We want this board to have a clear picture that we have held up to everything that has been requested of us in the lease." That's true. However, that's a school district, and this is supposed to be about the students. We need to minimize distractions. I don't want this board or this school district to be used for political purposes. I brought this to the board weeks ago. It had nothing to do with politics. All my kids graduated from McComb. I graduated from McComb. I got 2 in McComb now. I support McComb School District. Always have, always will. However, as the school district said, we want more. And because I want more from Dr. Ellis and the school district, I think it was not fair for him to say that this was a political issue. It's certainly not. It's about the students. And we're always going to push the school district to do more for our students and to hold the school district accountable. And when we hold them accountable, it's because we want more. It's not political. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Brown, in that lease it also says there are 90-day notice. Why do we want to put it September 6th?
The school district has actually voted. They voted on the 6th to actually concur or agree. So they've started the process with the paperwork, and when we get it, we're spreading across our minutes to concur with what they're actually doing, based on EJ, Enterprise Journal, reporting and quoting Dr. Ellis. They have agreed to release their part of the lease, or turn the lease to loose. So, and that was active on the 6th. So if we do this tonight, it will concur in time-wise with what they're doing. So when their 90 days are up, our 90 days are up, then we'll have the facility back.
Yes, sir. So are we saying we're giving them 90 days or not? You said the 6th, and then you said when their 90 days and their 90 days is up.
Effective the 6th, start effective the 6th.
The 90 days.
Starts.
The 90 days.
What are you saying? Explain what you're saying.
September 6th starts the 90 days. So you're talking about
Yes.
October, November, December 6th is going to be the end of the lease.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
December 6th will be the end of the lease.
Yes.
Selectman Collins.
No, that answers the question.
Listen to what Mr. Brock said, and, about the events and everything, and that it wasn't children related, even with the staff and the staff meeting of the teachers, that's related to the children. You know, and I just want to speak on behalf of the school. I mean, they agreed to come out the lease, so I think we shouldn't just left it at that, and just without all of that right there.
Well, let me say this. This body agreed for the mayor to talk to Dr. Ellis. Dr. Ellis instructed the mayor that he wanted to talk with his board and come back to us. He talked to his board, and they made the decision to get out of the lease, so they agreed with what we wanted.
And I agree with that, but I'm just saying to bring that tonight about their meetings that they had there wasn't related to the children. I mean, even in, like I said, even in the teacher's staff meeting, that relates to the children. So whatever they use it for, the time they use it for, is still related to the children.
And just to make sure I'm understanding correctly, the 90 days will be up from the September 6th, correct?
From my understanding, what's reported in the paper, yeah, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Ayes have it. Back to the agenda now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Consider adopting resolution approving levying an ad valorem tax for the 2018 tax roll for the city of McComb City and the McComb School District. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second. Well, it really dies, but it does not die because you don't have an option. You have to do
Second.
this.
I make a motion.
It was motioned by Selectman Johnson, second by Selectman Hill. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay.
Nay.
Consider approving a resolution authorizing the execution of a traffic signal maintenance agreement between the City of Macomb City and Mississippi Department of Transportation. Can I get a motion and a second?
Second.
Selectman Cameron, who was the other selectman? Selectman Brock. Any discussion? No discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Consider receiving a check in the amount of $1,408.80 from the Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics, MBN, C Fund account for disbursements of fine and seizure money from the MBN cases initiated or assisted by the Macomb Police Department, MBN cause number B9-121-1-2018, to be deposited into the Public Safety Forfeit Seizure Fund 108000359. Can I get a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
It was motioned by Selectman Tullis, second by Selectman Brock. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Consider approving payment request number 1 from R&J Construction Incorporation, Post Office Box 6, Florida, Mississippi 39441, in the amount of $224,362.88 for Park Lane Road Improvement Project. Can I get a motion in
So
second?
moved.
Second.
It was motion by Selectman Brock, second by Selectman Collis. Any discussion? No discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Consider accepting low bid received from Greenbrier BSLP 681 Jensen Trail, Northwest Brookhaven, MS 39601, in the amount of $114,000 on the pump room rehab project. Can I get a motion in second?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? No, any discussion?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
How long is this bid good for?
30 days.
30 days? It's gonna be 30 days from tonight,
30 days from the date of the bid was received.
received.
Yes.
Okay.
Selectman Hill.
Chuck Lambert,
Yes,
were we able to reach out to any cities to see if they ever came into the situation that we're in now? As far as
Other
doing,
cities, as far as the tanks and things?
yes,
We talked to some yesterday, it's the same situation. The $114,000, this has to do with the pump run, this is not the tanks.
okay,
This is simply replacing pumps 1 and 2 in the pump run.
okay,
That's what this 114 is. Now, what you're talking about on the tanks is the next item on the agenda.
sorry.
Okay.
Well, I'll wait.
Okay. But this is the pump run.
And understand the pump room was when you have, I think, how many pumps in that room?
We got 5.
5 pumps in that room, and all the water for the city goes through that pump room.
That's right. And let me say this, we're replacing pumps 1 and 2, and as soon as we get those replaced, pump 3 has got to be reworked this weekend. We know that, but we scared to take anything else offline till we get these other 2 going. Okay?
Okay. Any other discussion?
so we've got 30 days from,
And I don't have to read it. September 6th.
If I can, we took the bids on August 27th.
That was actually the 27th, I'm sorry.
what's the accurate date?
August 27th is when the deal was actually taken. Is that correct, Mr. Lambert?
Yes,
The 27th.
I'm sorry, yes, sir, I wasn't in there.
So they got 11 days to do this?
No, how long the bids will work. We have to award the bid within 30 days.
Mayor?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I've got the advertising for bid, and this says 60 days.
50 days?
Yes, sir.
Thought it said 30. My mistake. Thank you for correcting me.
Yes, sir.
But we have the bid here.
Yes, sir.
Any other discussion, Mr. Brock?
I'd like to offer a substitute motion to table this.
There is a substitute motion on the table here to table this. It was motion by Selectman Brock, second by Selectman Hill. Any discussion? Selectman Cameron.
Reasons?
Do you have any reason, Mr. Brock, that you would like to table this?
Yes, Mr. Lambert,
Yes, sir.
you're absolutely sure we've got 60 days on this?
In the advertisement, it says no bidder shall withdraw his bid for 60 days. So to me, that says 60 days. I can pull it and let y'all see it.
Okay, is this pressing?
Yes, sir. We need to get this going because, as I said, pumps 1 and 2 are down, pumps 3 leaking. I think this is something that the quicker we get going with this, the better off we're gonna be. My opinion.
Also, the repairs coming out of the capital improvement funds.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Butler mentioned to me the other day, he thinks we got, I believe it's $2.4 million in the capital improvement fund.
Point six.
.6, I'm sorry.
Mayor, what's the best way to just go ahead and withdraw that motion?
You withdraw your motion.
Okay. Mr. Brock withdraws his motion. Back to the original motion. Are we ready? Any other discussion? Are we ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay.
Nay.
5-1. Consider accepting low bid received from Utility Service Company Incorporation, 535 Courtney Hodge Road, Perry, Georgia, 31069, in the amount of $471,400. This includes alternate A on the ground storage tank painting and rehab project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Selectman Cameron, second by Selectman Brock. Any discussion? Selectman Cameron?
This may seem like a silly question, but does this come with a guarantee of no leaks?
Let me say this, if I may, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
Nothing comes with a guarantee of no leaks, but it's certainly going to make the situation a lot better than what we've currently got. I would say offhand that yes, sir, there's a warranty included in it for so long. I don't remember exactly what that is, but, over time it may leak. Concrete cracks will have to patch it.
But when they leave, it's not gonna be leaking.
When they leave, it best not be leaking.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, good deal.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay.
Nay.
Who said nay? Brock. 5-1. Consider approving payment request number 1 from Griner Drilling Service, Post Office Box 825, Columbia, Mississippi 39429, in the amount of $43,462.50 for the new well number 5 project. That was Johnson, Selectman Johnson, Selectman Brock. Any discussion? Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay. Consider approving final payment number 5, release of retainage from Dickinson and Boeing, Post Office Box 1008, Brookhaven, Mississippi 39601, in the amount of $29,735.22 for the 3rd Street Mill and Overlay and Fire Hydrant Installation Project. Motion and second.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Shouldn't I say to Dickerson Road? Not from?
Yes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay. Consider approving the closeout reimbursement for the Certified Local Government Grant FY 2017 Sand Tower Relocation Project. Can I got a motion and second?
So moved.
Selectman Tullis and Selectman Johnson second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposers nay. Consider adopting the ordinance amending Chapter 86 of the City of McComb Code of Ordinance, decriminalization of marijuana. Can I get a motion and second?
So moved.
Second. One.
Second.
It was motion and second by, motion by Selectman Hill, second by Selectman Johnson. Any discussion? Yes, sir. Mr. Campbell, Selectman Campbell.
What about, I got a couple questions. Selectman Brock brought in an amendment to this, and seemed that he you withdraw that last week?
I'm about to, I'll talk about it in the discussion.
I think we all received a letter from Judge Sterrett, federal judge that started the first drug court in the state of Mississippi, and he, gives his
Who said that was
Judge Sterrett, and I can't seem to find it, but we all received it. Pretty sure. Keith Sterrett. And he started the first drug court in the state of Mississippi and has been applauded on the job that it does, and he definitely says he's against it. The head of the MBN, the state leading drug agency in the state of Mississippi, he's come out and said he's against it. Not trying to put words in our new chief of police's mouth, but from what I understand, from what I gathered last week, he's against it. I can't see how we go against MBN, the first drug court starter, our police chief, and every constituent that I have has adamantly opposed it. So that's my opinion.
Chief of Police, did I hear you say that you were against this?
I stated that we should throw caution to the wind on the matter.
But you didn't give a position on it.
As far as decriminalizing, yeah, I'm against decriminalizing marijuana. That's the question.
Our attorney wants to share her.
Well, this will be my first time having the opportunity to weigh in on the matter with the mayor and the board. I would just like to say that the proposed statute, and I know, and I know that a lot of thought and time has gone into it. It could possibly be contravening state law. I know that there has been, it's my understanding, I think that a portion of it has been redacted or withdrawn, but potentially there is the chance that it could be challenged. And the way that it is drafted now, the person who could be challenging it, of course, would have to have standing, but you also have the potential, and I'm not saying that a governmental agency like the Attorney General's office would challenge it, but if it is adopted, you do have that potential for it to be challenged. The the ordinance as it's drafted right now is not really, and I'm trying to look on my phone to pull up the actual statute, is not really unlike much of what we have enacted now. And if the purpose is to provide some kind, well, let me ask this, though I'm not assuming, what exactly is the purpose or the intent? Maybe that would help me to better facilitate.
That's exactly what it says, is to decriminalize it. Only thing that as Mr. Selectman Brock spoke earlier, that speaks maybe different than state law, is that by any offense it does not cause an arrest. With the first offense state law, which we have been not doing, is on the first offense state law there should not be an arrest.
Right, you're exactly right.
We have in the city of McComb have been arrested on the first offense of marijuana. Second offense is, I think, is a fine and maybe still not an arrest, if I can remember correctly. I don't have it in front of me. But the third offense causes an arrest.
The third offense causes an arrest, and with the second offense, there is the potential, you get the fine, and then there is potential for the arrest. For the first offense, there is no arrest in state law. Right.
Well, the city of McComb has been operating under that, under a verbal policy through the police department under the current under the former administration. So the purpose of this is to decriminalize it. In this place we call the United States, there are other states that we can travel to, drive our cars or fly airplanes to, that is done legally. But here in Mississippi and in McComb, we tend to lock our citizens up for an offense that is nonviolent, which is state law. It says it now, but I think that the local municipalities have the authority to draft its own ordinance about how it dictates and runs the city. It may contradict with the state law, but I think we still do have that power.
You're right, but when you do still have that power, but you do pose the potential of running afoul of state law and contradicting it, and like I said, potentially having it be up for a challenge. With the law that you have now in effect, it does provide for the first offense that, for 30 grams or less, it's, punishable by a fine not less than $100, not more than $250. Then you also have that caveat where you get the expungement. It's not going to be public, it's going to be private, and then after 2 years, then you're eligible for an expungement. And if you have it already in the law now, it's completely, the decision between the mayor and the board how you decide to do it. If you have it in state law now, if it's something that the police is not enforcing, I don't know if it's something that you may want to consider talking to the police chief about, or seeing if it's something that we can move forward in that direction. But I would just like to tell the board that there is that potential for a challenge, and with you already having it in law now, then you are running the potential of somehow running in a contradiction of the state law.
And just like, some cities have ordinances on hand that dictate how the city's operating, and if it's not within that ordinance, then we relate to state law. Is that not true?
They do, but it's within the parameters, and I think there probably, if there was a request for an opinion with respect to this proposed ordinance, and even within that opinion, it gives, some kind of precaution to say, listen, you may want to be mindful of the fact that there is a state law and operate within those parameters of the law. So definitely, I already know that there's one municipality that has adopted, an ordinance that's similar to this. I have checked with NBN because I wasn't sure. I haven't had a chance to talk to our law enforcement, but I did check with the NBN just to see if it was something that the city was not doing. How can we go about implementing what the state law says? And talking to NBN, what was reported to me is that, most cities do not, if it's a first offense, you're not going to jail for it. You don't need a special ticket for it, although cities can implement a special ticket if they want to. But according to the statute, what the statute says is that there's a summons, and then the individual who's going to be arrested, if they are making sure that, or if they're affirming their residence and giving their assurance that they're going to be in court, then that's it. They're just assigned a fine, they pay the fine. The only reason why they show up in court, as you already know, is if they're going to challenge it. But you are right, if cities want to, make ordinances, they can, but at the same time, there's also that off chance, too, that they can be challenged.
Correct.
Deputy Chief Nordstrom.
Yes, sir.
I asked you last week what policy that we had in place that we arrest people on. Do you remember your response to me on that?
Yes, sir. I said some policies are not written. It's kind of like the state law that's written if a misdemeanor crime appears or is done in an officer's presence, that officer has the right by law to make an arrest. And there's not a policy at our department that specifically spells out when a person is actually physically taken to jail or not. And I also explain that sometimes policy is not written. It is by the way that you've done things. And actually, it was not done as a verbal by the last administration. someone's been taken to jail in my 26 years for that offense, as long as I've been there. So I don't know who actually did that, but by policy of the way it has been done in my career, those people have been arrested. Much like a speeding ticket is a misdemeanor offense, but my understanding of the law is I can actually arrest that person and take them to jail because it is a misdemeanor offense that has occurred in my presence. But again, though, the lady to your left, Ms. Cockerham, could probably expound on that much more than I could.
City Attorney, is that even legal to be arresting people and we don't have anything in policy of what we're going to arrest people for? So,
Well, you have a law enforcement official who, whether either by probable cause, I'm not sure if you're using probable cause to make it. Is that your determination that you're making it? It's not by policy? Since it's you're assuming that a crime.
State law says that.
Because of the crime, right?
Right.
Because of the criminal statute. So it's not necessarily because of the policy, but because the officer is assuming that a crime has been committed.
okay, let me make this a little more plainer. If he walks out of here now and finds somebody in possession of 30 grams or less of marijuana, he's going to arrest him, and state law says that's
Right, and so.
not legal.
But, in talking to NBN, the conversations that I've had, and that's why I said we need to have conversations with law enforcement to see whether there's going to be arrests made if the statute, pursuant to the statute, saying that there's going to be a fine that's going to be imposed, or how exactly these matters are going to be handled. Because the Bureau of Narcotics is saying, you know, in these particular instances that a ticket is usually given, a fine imposed, that person comes to court unless they're contesting it. So there are probably going to have to be some conversations had between law enforcement as well as the board to determine how it's going to be enforced.
This is my last question. If they don't have a policy and nothing in writing on who they're going to arrest or what offenses they're going to arrest, and state law here says that on your first offense you shouldn't be arrested, is it within this board's discretion to mandate to our police department not to arrest anyone on their first offense?
I think that there probably need to be some conversations had between the mayor, the board, and law enforcement before any actions are taken. That would be my advice to the board, to have some conversations, to actually figure out, you know, what your population is, how many offenses are actually occurring, and getting a well-defined policy of what actually is going to take place. Nothing premature, but actually knowing with law enforcement, mayor, and board involved, this is how we need to proceed. And again, I know that you have put a lot of time into this particular ordinance, and I know that you have been elected by the people and you're the holder of the people's trust. I get that, I understand that, because I'm in a position similar to that. And you want to make sure that if the people are speaking and this is something that is not occurring, that should be happening, you want to make sure that it's enforced, especially if statute provides it and it's not happening. But I do think that based on what I'm hearing from Bureau of Narcotics, what law enforcement is saying tonight, there probably do need to be some other conversations on this matter.
I have a couple things. I'm sorry. I know our previous chief is not here, and I did have a conversation with him. I could be mistaken, but I was under the impression that he told me that no one had been arrested for a first offense. Are you saying that they normally do?
Normally they would be, yes.
Okay.
But I would like to say this again. The state law says, and Ms. Cockerham can bear it, she can show you in the books that, I mean, there's felonies and there's misdemeanors.
Right.
If a misdemeanor offense is committed in the presence of a law enforcement officer, the law enforcement officer has the right to take that person to jail. They're not getting out of the offense. And I would also like to say what Selectman Hill is attempting to do by putting this on a ticket rule. our former chief tried to do this like 2.5 years ago. He put forth a ticket that was from Liberty, and it had on there. And the problem was, at that time, who was gonna pay for the ticket book?
Sure.
Okay? And again, that's like speeding. If you're driving down the road, it's a misdemeanor offense. And the state law says it. She can explain that to you. An arrest can be made. Now, if you do not want to arrest on the first offense, again, police don't make laws. We simply enforce them as they're written. However, this ordinance is written and passed, that's how we're going to enforce it.
Well, they can, if the board and the mayor decide, I mean, they can have their own ticket if they want that on there. I mean,
Right.
that's not a problem. If they say, well, we want first offense, we want second offense, if they want third offense, they
I
can put
think
that
that's
on
all
there.
Selectmen Hill is trying to do.
Well, if they want
Well,
that on a ticket,
well,
you know, they
I'm
can
sorry.
put that on there. And, you know, Selectman Cameron is, you know, he said that the former chief had given that to him, that information that no one had been arrested for it. But that's the same information that I had gotten, that has been typically what does not occur is that they are not. But, you know, you're saying that that has not happened. And so if that's not happening, then we need to find out why.
My understanding from Chief at that time, McKenzie, was that they were brought to the police station and booked in order that they could keep up with the records, but they were not put into jail. Now, that's what my understanding of what he said. It was primarily for tracking purposes.
And that's correct, but they do go to the police station rather than issue a citation
Right.
like speeding. And that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to get it put on a ticket book, so you would give the person a ticket, you would take their possession of the marijuana into custody, and then it would be logged in as evidence. But yes, as of right now, and in the past, that person does get handcuffed, put in the back of a car, and taken to jail. If it was put on a citation, it would relieve that.
Mr. Butler, have you gotten with the chief of police and worked on a citation book?
I know, Chief,
Yes.
he hadn't started with us yet. No, sir.
He gave a copy last week.
Yeah, I got the information he gave me. We're gonna just start on when he started with us, Mr. Johnson.
It would.
No.
All right. So,
No.
where did what we just got handed come from? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yes.
So this is a whole new one now?
No, that's the original one. Because the only person that brought amendments to me was Selectman Brock. After conversation with him, he withdrew those options. I went back to the original.
Okay, so, again, I may have it, is there a third offense on this one?
There's not a consequence on
There's not a third offense on this, is there a third offense on state?
State has a second and third offense.
Okay, I thought originally this had a third offense.
May have left something on.
Okay.
Can we-
Second of all, right, I'm still, all right, so when we said, that we could take to jail or not, or whatever, is it not correct that city ordinance can up state law, but we can't down state law?
You can't you actually have it in reverse, so you can go work in between like this does, but you don't wanna supersede it actually. But right now, what you're doing right here is in some, well, I don't wanna get into the merits of the second and third offense, but you don't want to prescribe something that's going to be, especially for this, less than.
Okay, all right. Again, with all due respect, I'm sick and tired of kicking this can down the road. I don't see a third offense. Our attorney is basically kind of warning us. What we're brought tonight still has the Court of Jackson on it. I would like to make a subsequent motion that we throw this ordinance out the door. Drop it. Because each night, we've talked about it for however how many weeks, it's been different, we've gotten different opinions, legal opinions, not legal opinions, we hadn't had legal opinions, and yet tonight, we've come to a vote, and it's still not right. So, I make a motion that we do away with this ordinance.
It's not an ordinance yet.
Do away with number 15, considering adopting
That's
an
how we'll
ordinance
vote.
amending chapter 86.
There's been a call for a vote.
I got one last thing to say, Mayor, if you don't mind. If you don't mind,
Go ahead.
But if not, if
No, go ahead.
Um,
It's your ordinance that you brought to the,
anything, and I would say thank you for everybody that has worked with me, my colleagues, on this ordinance, whether you was opposed to it or for it. I'm only gonna bring policies and ordinance to this board that my constituents feel like that we should do to move this city forward. If the board decides not to move with it, and that's the nature of the board, it doesn't upset me or anything like that. I just wish that we consider the people that have been hindered by these laws that we operate under today, even if NBN and even our police department has been operating wrongfully for the last years. I find that it's our duty to make sure that it's done correctly. For our number 2 in the police department to stand before us and say he will arrest you on the first offense, that's disturbing to me. For the last however since you've been here, that's very disturbing when predominantly of our city is African American. And I will continue to push ordinances to further this city, and again, thank you. If the board wishes to drop it and move toward a citation, but I still will say today that I don't think having 30 positions of marijuana deserves to make you a criminal. It doesn't.
okay, all ready to vote. It's been called for the vote. No, it's been called to vote. It's called for
We vote on a substitute motion?
No, substitute motion died.
We didn't vote on it. We still
You did
You got a
second.
second?
My mistake. I didn't catch your second. Okay, the substitute motion is to kill the ordinance. Didn't you say that? Okay.
How do I need to drop it, kill it? How is the proper
Right.
strike? Okay, strike.
Are we still in discussion?
Go ahead. Come on.
I'm very disturbed that Selectman Hill mentioned that our police department is arresting people on their first offense of simple possession of marijuana. Personally, don't care what we do with this ordinance. I know this city board, and I'm including myself, all 6 of us around this table represent people. We represent people who pay taxes here, and there are 70% of our citizens who are being disfranchised by what we do here in our criminal justice system. I'm going to stress it again, and Mr. Butler, the chief of police, the deputy chief, I don't care who you get with, somebody needs to bring us something at our next meeting to move what he's doing to a citation book and all of our misdemeanors that we owe our people for. That needs to happen. I asked for it last week. We haven't got anywhere with it. Whoever's filling in over there now, that's who we need to get with, and let's move it forward. I mean, we're talking about people up here.
Yes, sir, Mr. Johnson. And I agree with Mr. Johnson. And going back with Mr. Hill, he said that the constituents has talked to him. But also at the same time, I've had people calling me against this as well. So I think we're all looking at what the people are saying and listen to what the people are saying, but we have to come together and see what's best as a whole for the city of McComb. I agree with Ms. Cockerham that it should be between this board and the law enforcement to find a way to make this work within our city, you know, and with the new chief coming in, is he still here?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a question to you. With you coming in, is there any way that you can see that we get a citation for just this right here? And how do you feel about moving forward with using citations for this?
Well, I mean, I feel fine with it. That's why I presented what I had. I feel like it was a better fit for what we needed to do. There can be a medium between all of this. Like you said, you got people who disagree, there are people that agree. I think there's a fine medium. According to the law, like it said, this first offense, not a arrestable offense. Citation is fine, even if it's a second and we don't find out because of the records, maybe the courthouse is closed, we can't find out, or we can go through the system and find out whether it's a first or second offense, and then we can handle it thus. But even if it's a second or third offense, and they get a citation even still, they go before the judge will have that information, and he can make his judgment then. We're fine with that. Like you said, that's what they were trying to do previously. I don't know, I'm finding this out now. It's something that we've made a practice of from where I come from. And like I said, City of McComb, what I presented to you guys is what they have adopted, so I'm 100% for that. And so,
that's right.
As soon as I get in office, we can make that happen.
Still calling the people that get caught with marijuana criminal. That's absolutely.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
Attorney Cochran, the state law, based on what the state law says in that section A, where it says 30 grams, 30 grams.
You're looking at 2A?
Yeah, yes ma'am,
Okay.
2A. It says 30 grams or less by a fine not less than $100, nor more than $250. These provisions of this paragraph shall be enforceable by a summons. That's a ticket, not arrest. So, one thing we're missing is the summons or the ticket book that directly relates to this summons, provided that the offender provides proof of identity, just say driver's license, satisfactory to the arresting officer, and written promise to appear in court satisfactory to the arresting officer as directed by the summons. That doesn't say go to jail.
Right, and that's what I was stating earlier about what the individual is going to be saying. I'm going to appear in court.
Correct.
Usually, if you had your citation, if it's first offense, then you'd be paying whatever that fine is. If they were going to court, the only reason why they're going is because they're going to be contesting it. And so that's why I was asking, what does the citation look like? Do you have a citation for first offense, second offense, third offense? Because that would be extremely helpful in this situation.
Okay. If our officers had a summons book or a ticket book, then they could not, should not, shall not take people to jail. Okay. A second conviction under this section within 2 years shall be punished by a fine of $250 and not less than 5 days, no more than 60 days in county jail, and mandatory participation in a drug program approved by the Division of Alcohol, Drug Abuse of the State of Mississippi Mental Health, unless the court enter a written finding that such drug education program is inappropriate. A third, a subsequent conviction under this section within 2 years is a misdemeanor, punishable by fine of no less than $250, no more than $500, and confinement for not less than 5 days or 6 months in the county jail. That's the third offense. Upon the first or second conviction under this section, the court shall forward a report of such conviction to the Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics, which shall make and maintain a private, non-public record for a period not to exceed 2 years from the date of conviction. The private, non-public record shall be solely for the use of the courts to determine the penalties which attach upon the conviction under the section, and shall not constitute a criminal record. For the purpose of private administration requiring the record of each conviction shall be expunged at the end of the 2-year period, 2 years following the date of service. So my thing is that it seems like we have everything in place that we need, not to send people to jail, on the first offense, not be arrested, pull your ticket book out, write your ticket, send them on their merry way, they gotta come to court, pay that fine. Second offense is a little bit different. It's a little bit tougher. But as far as going to jail on the first offense or this being a criminal, a record on your, record on your record, a record on your record, based on state law, we can't even do that. It seems like we're not dotting our I's and crossing our T's with the procedures that we're supposed to be doing based on state law. And I've heard the chief and I heard the deputy, but based on state law, we don't have any option. You're not to arrest people on first offense. If I could go outside today, after this meeting, with marijuana, 30 grams, I expect to get a ticket book pulled out and write a citation. And if we as a body don't have that in place, that's on us. But we need to get it to you and have you equipped with the tools that you need to make the proper decisions. It's clear that it's all right here, from my understanding. With a little help. Thank you.
I would like to say, paragraph 2A, what you just read, it does not, for the first offense, it does not, prescribe any kind of imprisonment time. You give accurately what the fines are, a fine not less than $100, not more than $250, and then again, the provisions of this paragraph 2A may be enforceable by summons if the offender provides proof of identity satisfactory to the arresting officer with written promise to appear in court satisfactory to the arresting officer as directed by summons. Again, it sounds like there may be, if we had that citation, then that would be extremely helpful, and it sounds like that there's some willingness to do that.
Okay, I'm ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Man, could you restate what we actually vote on, so we make sure we got it?
What was it going? Sorry.
Sure.
Okay. We're gonna strike this order. That's a motion and second to do that. Call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay.
Nay.
5-1. Okay.
Mayor, if you would,
Go ahead, Selectman Hill.
let's talk about being realistic and that sort of, if we consider as a board and continuously lock or imprison or incarcerate citizens for the use, not even the use, the possession of 30 grams of risk, I think that it's kind of contradicts us with the use of alcohol or the possession of alcohol or anything with it, because the numbers show that alcohol has far much more effects on us than the plant of marijuana. Just want to put that out there that we just voted to decriminalize, voted not to even consider decriminalizing marijuana. But just want to put out there that we do have alcohol legal here in the nation and also in our city and state.
You have something you want to say, Mr. Thomas?
I heard our deputy chief say that, or our former chief say that we didn't have the option on our ticket books to write citations for these things. Actually, I looked at a citation, and at the bottom of that citation, it says other violation. And I would like to see, if I need to do that in a motion, that we start that ASAP. Because, we're not even following state law. It's there where it says other violation on your ticket book. Isn't that true, Deputy Chief?
It is true that it says other.
So we're
But
just
again,
deliberately...
there is the point of the matter that misdemeanor offenses, and I'm just saying, we have been asking for this, the same thing. So it is offensive to me. The law doesn't say you shall not arrest. It says you shall summons. It does not take that option away. If you want to take that option away, we're fine with that. We were asking for that. It relieves our processors. It relieves our police. If you want to add it to a ticket book, again, we don't make the law. We enforce it as it is written. And the law says a misdemeanor offense that happens, we will write it as long as this man right here says that's what you want us to do. And I'm sure he won't have it. Do you have a problem with us writing other in there and putting, was it first offense?
That's fine.
Well, I think, just for clarification purposes, we're talking about the two different things, arresting and an imposition of how much time you may serve, okay? So for first offense, it's talking about $100, $250. And then it says here, which I just stated, the provisions of this paragraph 2A may be enforceable by summons if the offender provides identity. We go into the third, in a second, you can serve, 60 days, no more than 60 days in a county jail, etc. And it talks about what happens for the third. But for this, I think based on what I'm hearing, and the board, you can correct me if I'm wrong, especially Selectman Hill, and also Selectman Brock, what I'm hearing is for a first offense, it provides that you can get a fine, but you're not supposed to be serving 60 days like the second one. You're right. It does say with a summons you can do thus and so. Based on what I have been informed, if the city does have this particular this particular citation, then you can just, have this fine imposed. You can, if you're going to contest it, go to court. And if not, did not you just set up and say that you had one from the city of Brookhaven?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm confused between the contradiction that I'm hearing.
We don't want them arrested on the first offense.
Okay, you don't want them arrested on the first offense.
Right, they're going through the National Crime Database and all that. That's what we're trying to learn.
Okay, so arrest, just so we can get the distinction. Arrest and serving time, it's gonna be, if the officer, just like the officer said, if the officer says, I don't want them to be arrested, or they find that there's probable cause, that's going to be something different than right here.
That's what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. It's moving from officer discretion where they pick which one they're going to arrest or not.
Okay. I still think going forward, since you have the motion where you're taking it off, just like we just discussed a few minutes ago with the citation being brought up, there needs to be, and I don't know, perhaps somebody here can tell me if there's some way to identify what kind of numbers we're looking at. Does anybody, and maybe you can tell me now, what would be the percentage that we would have for first offense? Does anybody know?
Our former chief provided that information, weeks ago.
Well, I would like to see it, because I haven't seen it.
And I think it would help too. A lot of people don't understand what the word arrest means. And I think there's a lot of misunderstanding here, just like when the word decriminalization.
Explain the risk.
If I stop you and write you a ticket, I've arrested you. I've just given you a summons and let you go. You still have to come to jail. Any misdemeanor offense is state law. And that's why whenever you say, when did the city of Brookhaven adopt this ticket?
It was a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago. So what are we saying? The city of Brookhaven violated the law all the way up till a few weeks ago? No. If it is a misdemeanor offense, it can be arrestable. You can go to jail over a speeding ticket. Again, all we have to do is add it. The problem with putting it on this ticket now that says other is, it's a graduated offense, like DUI is. That's why there's its own ticket book for DUI. So what we need to do is just, the arrest word is confused everybody.
Chief, Dick, I'm going to stop you there. Arrest means seize someone by legal authority to take into custody.
And I can do, as soon as I stop you on the road.
Period. So
Okay.
arrest, arrest doesn't mean to give you a ticket when you go home. That's not an arrest. So let's stop there. An arrest is just what it is, an arrest. I'm putting handcuffs on you, and you're going with me.
Well, whether it's by work
You need to,
session or whenever you're meeting again.
I'm looking at the West End.
Citation, I would like to see that.
Okay, thank you. There are a few announcements. National Voter Registration Day is September 25th, 2018. The city of McComb will be participating in that event. We will have a table or people designated to register people specifically for September 25th. The next work session will be Tuesday, September the 18th, 2018, 5:30 p.m. The next board meeting will be September the 25th at 5:30. Also, Magnolia Place Rodeo Bash will be September the 12th, 10 to 1 p.m. I think I sent everyone an email as it relates to that.
What is that? What is it?
I don't know what a rodeo bash is for, but I got a telephone call inviting me. Also, Mr. Westbrook from Gigantic Bag on Friday, September 14th, will be giving the Board of Mayor and Selectmen a tour of his plant and will tell us about the expansion. He invited us because he employs citizens from McComb to work in his plant. So that's at 9 o'clock on Friday. Also, the Pike County Soil and Water Conservation District Field Day will be September the 20th, 2018 for farmers in Pike and surrounding counties. It will be at Carl Fuller's Farm, 1055 Garner Road, Summit, Mississippi. Those are the announcements. Wait, one more announcement. Don't want to forget this. On Friday, September 14, 2018, at 1 p.m., Damian C. Gatlin will be sworn in as the Chief of Police for the city of McComb, Mississippi. So we're inviting everyone to come and be with us on Friday the 14th at the municipal court. Okay? If nothing else, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay. It was motioned by Selectman Cameron, second by Selectman Tullis, that we adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. So moved. Meeting adjourned.
Mayor.
Yes.
What's the time and date of Gigantic Bag?
Friday at 9 o'clock.
Friday.
Yes. And by the way, he asked me